long time no talk. We are back recording from traveling all across the country and back. If I have coronavirus, I'm not showing it, so I guess it's okay. This is going to be a video that is longer than 5 minutes. We're going to be talking about the stock market. I have done a ton of work on this new history stock data file in Microsoft Excel that really goes through the market and goes and shows you what's happening in the market. And I've been using it to invest in long call options, which is how we live off the market, is by printing money with buying long call options and having stocks go up. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's talk about what has happened over the last, well, today and the last few weeks, and also how this file can help you. And I will eventually be selling this information so that you can get a copy and you can see what I have written as comments on all these companies. And as I keep it updated, I'd send it out to you every day. I'm not putting a price or selling it yet because I still need to complete this thing and get full tickers, full list of companies in the NYSE and the NASDAQ. It's incomplete. But the incomplete list that we're looking at right now, how cool is this? Shows you by sector and subsector, like what was the best sector today? I guess it was financials. Who in the financials? It was diversified financial services. There are only a few companies in there, but Jefferies Group up 5.9%, Marlin Business Services Corp up 4. You have this way of going through this pivot table that's grabbing a bunch of data and looking and saying, oh, Southern Missouri Bancorp had the best day of the thrifts and mortgage finance industry, up 10%. It's really cool to look at this and see how the hedge funds move their money around in different sectors. And, like this is DraftKings in here. This is just a few companies. That's digital sports, unclassified. We have Schrodinger and Nikola. There are a lot of other unclassified companies that I do not have in here. I love Schrodinger, by the way. They're my favorite stock on the exchange right now. Anyway, point is, there's a ton of things to look at in here, and we can move all this around, and we can also go and look at all the stocks that we keep track of and say, oh, well, biggest day today. Turns out it was a lot of these industrials companies like Masonics. Um, I have a lot of stay away comments on here, except for Tesla. Oh my God, Tesla. I haven't done a video about Tesla in a while. I was saying that they were going to be at least 1,000 a share by the end of the year. They're at over 1,500 a share, and it's been a few weeks. Uh, you know what? Good. Good. We should be watching oil go down and stop using it, and we should be watching batteries and electric future technology go up. And I think that there's a few reasons why Tesla has spiked so heavily. Um, Pretty amazing. They're really expensive right now, but they're making money. We're moving toward that. People are seeing it. I love to see them doing that. We should all be investing in companies like that. Look at Royal Caribbean up here, up 10%. Steel, there's a lot of junk. Let's look at the stocks that I care about by percent of ceiling price. So what this means is I keep track of certain stocks and I have target prices for them. And if the target price is here, the max purchase price. If the current price is less than the max purchase price, then you get this percentage here, which is below 100%. So I think Schrodinger is the best buy on the stock exchanges right now. If you heard me talk about them before, I won't clog up this video talking about them. There's a new one, USANA, which is USNA as the ticker. I think they have a potential like helping immunity coronavirus booster thing with resveratrol and something else, quercetin or something. They got a couple things together, and I think those do help keep your immune system up. I think they're going to see a bump in their stock as that gets realized, and people have to realize that we're all going to get exposed to particulates of the SARS-CoV-2 as we go, different iterations of it. It's going to be about keeping our immune systems up, which is very difficult when the weather gets colder and we're inside more and not as much sun. You got to get vitamin D, you got to get exercise, and you're probably going to be potentially taking inhalants of corticosteroids, which could potentially limit the blood clotting or limit what's called the cytokine storm, or just your immune system's crazy reaction to too much viral replication going on in your body and screwing up your blood chemistry. There are a lot of things people are going to be doing here so that we bring down the deaths number, we bring down the critical intubated number. We realize that we can go back to getting out and living a somewhat yet guarded life with masks and common sense protection. But we shouldn't fear that we're going to go out and pick up something that's going to kill us randomly, because there will be treatments available as we continue learning more about the virus. One good thing about the quarantine is that It gave our doctors time to run some trials, run some tests, try different things, and we are finding answers. I think Pepcid is still something we should be using, famotidine. Waiting for the results of the study from Northwell Health. I've been waiting for months. I've been waiting, watching Merck not go up enough. Merck is at 76, 73. They market a generic version of famotidine as Pepcid. I'm waiting to hear that because I think that Merck stock will bump when that comes out. And I bought some Pepcid on the way across country. I saw places where you couldn't get it and it was sold out. And I saw places where it was full. You get rubbing alcohol, you get all kinds of stuff you couldn't even find on the East Coast. Different places, different parts of the country are handling it differently. Anyway, I do think that even though cases are going up, deaths are even going up, um, compared to where they were relatively, that we are going to get a handle on this with treatment, not necessarily vaccine. I'm talking about actual treatment that can prevent these negative outcomes. So we need to focus on that. Now, we're past 5 minutes. We're going way past 5 minutes. On this list here of companies, and really in the order in which I say to purchase them, I say Schrodinger first, USA, and then next Coherus Bioscience makes biosimilar products. They should be around 18 or 20 really a share. I think they're going to get there. I like them. LSI, I picked them up today because they dropped down to 550 actually. I put in a limit order and got them at 550. That's too low for them. They make screens. We're going to need more screens because people are problems. Screens are not problems. They're going to be doing that. Twitter made the big bump. If you watched my video last week, one of them last week, I was talking about how Twitter was up here and they were the number one stock of the day back when they were at like $29 a share. I said they're a $35 a share stock. Guess what they're at? $35.40. Nostra freaking Damus, you crushed it if you bought a long call option on Twitter. I did. I bought one and then I was a pansy and I sold it before they got this high, so I could have made more money. Screw me. But yes, it was obvious when they were at 29, they're going back up. So now they're at that equilibrium sort of point, and they're not below 100% when it comes to percent of ceiling price right now. Google Alphabet, look at them crushing it. They have like a $50 day today, almost $40 day, I think. I have them maxing out at 1,500. I also had Tesla maxing out at 1,500. Look at both of these companies blowing right through it. This is amazing. Tesla was under $1,000 a couple weeks ago. Alphabet, 1369, I think it was 2 weeks ago or whatever when I left the West Coast. Just absolutely great companies. Google's YouTube revenue, I think, is going to be awesome, which is why YouTube ad revenue, why there's just a lot of money in the market going to good companies. Hudson, guess what? I don't want to buy them anymore. I don't want to buy Hudson anymore because it's unclear when people are going to be calm enough to fly again. I know it's going to happen, but it's not happening in the normal way, and they're totally dependent on high traffic coming in through the airports. And it's Hudson News. It's the stores in the airports that overprice their drinks and bags of almonds, right? So I'm taking them off the list, and that means we're going to get a resort. I actually sold some Hudson today for a huge loss because I shouldn't have got them to begin with. Now, Duncan, where's Duncan at? 65 over there, 63. TA is some weird stuff going on with TA. I'm actually going to lay off TA as well. Travelers Centers of America ended up doing a new stock sell, a bunch of shares for like 14 a share. Their share price went from $21 or $22 a share all the way down to now $12.42. Too much weirdness going on there, so I'm pulling them off the list. No more TA. Marriott had a stronger finish today. They're a super volatile stock. I would say you can buy them below 90. You still can stay in hotels if you drive somewhere and don't fly. So Marriott, see, they're not going to move up on the list. They're reasonable below 90 because they're $100, $110 a share stock. So if you can get them below 90, even though they've had some days under the 80s or under mid 80s, they're still good buy. What else do we want to talk about? JetBlue went up today, but I'm still worried about airlines. They're still way down for the last few weeks. Sherwin-Williams, 583, just a good company. Microsoft hit 213. I had them at 200. They're probably, I might want to revisit this max price on Microsoft. They might be going above that. AT&T, I lowered a little bit. Target, I kept down. Walmart had this big run because they're doing online sales. They're just not a super volatile stock, so I'm keeping my 120 there because you don't know with them. I didn't like what I saw when they reported really good earnings and their stock went up and then down. They seem to be getting manipulated a little bit because of their just market cap and share price. Johnson Johnson, Wendy's, Bioanalytical Systems. This is purchasable right here. This BASI, Contract Drug Research. They're probably in demand, and I used to have this at $5, and that's not a bad idea to put them back at 5. They are buyable there, so that puts them as like the fourth best. I mean, they're a smaller cap company, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like when we throw it in our thingamabobber here that looks at companies and market cap and all kinds of sizes and everything to give you a little more information about the company and comparing to everything else. You can see how I love Schrodinger because, I mean, look at their 30-day trend. Let's go back 150 days. Their 150-day trend looks almost the same. I mean, that's a great trend for a company that doesn't even have profits per share yet. If you've heard me talk about them, they do. I call them the fountain of youth in my comments because I think they're going to come up with pharmaceuticals and patents for all types of different diseases using artificial intelligence and a programming interface. So yeah, USANA flatlined recently, but I do like that's the spike when I think they called their patent that they had for these things. But more people are going to be talking about immunity and dealing with coronavirus. That's why I like them longer term. Marriott, you can see is flatline waiting for people to say that we're going to start traveling again, and then it'll go up. Bioanalytical Systems, you can see they got a nice little, here. Coherus, similar LSI, hanging out, but we'll go back up. Twitter there, you can see Merck wants to go back up, it doesn't. Google Alphabet looking great. Tesla looking unbelievable, especially the last 30 days. I mean, look at that. That's a mountain you can't climb on a bike. So really cool stuff in here. The way we can go through this and pivot and look by, let's look at all the things that I said. Which are the stocks that are? Let's do a couple ways first. First, let's look at subsector instead of main sector, and this gives us a little more information on what moved around for the day and how much it moved. Well, the airlines had the best day of all, according to my sheet, and they went up 6.8%. Who was that? That was Airports or Industrials. Spirit up 10%. Allegiant, United 8, SkyWest 7, Alaska 3.8. Everybody doing at least like 4 to 10% in the airlines. Good for them. All right, so I guess people think it might come back. Weird paper and forestry materials products. I don't know what this is about. Is this about more toilet paper and more paper towels because we're all going to be quarantined again? I don't know what's going on there. Somebody making a guess on that. A lot of metals and mining. Cliffs Natural Resources. Do they make Cliff bars or do they mine for aluminum and bauxite? I don't know what's going on here. 15% day for them. Crazy stuff. So looking through this is fun. You can grab things like the company name and ticker and look at this by descending by the best, like we were looking at before in this other sheet in the data sheet. We're looking at this descending by who had the best day. Well, also, let's say I have a bunch of comments about different things, or I have companies that I say are in companies versus ignore companies. In companies are companies I say to invest in. Who had the best day out of the in companies that I watch? And also, how did all the in companies do? The answer is every in company, I was about to say every in company won, except that's not true. Some in companies did not win today. Beyond Meat down 4% to 135. That makes sense. Look at my max buy price at 120. Look at me. That's Vivo, actually. Vivo needs to go up. They're a good company. Lakeland Industries, they make a lot of PPE, I think, equipment. And they had a good run because I had an old price of 17 on them. They're all 24. It's FICO. Anyway, all right. So, well, what happened in the ones I say to watch? And now this is a surprise. I didn't realize this looking earlier. Netflix was up 8% today. I don't believe in Netflix long term. I just don't think, I think they're overvalued. So that's why I have a max buy price so much lower than their current share price because I really won't touch them. But color me stupid, they're up 8% today. JetBlue up 6. Collectors Universe. This is an interesting one because they have great financials, and what they do is I think they Yeah. I said virus helps them as everyone tries to sell grandpa's valuables. So they get like certified that, an autograph was actually Bo Jackson or whatever whatever it is that they certify different collecting goods, which are being sold on eBay and Amazon, all these places, right? And I'm not 30, but yeah, it's not surprising that they're doing well. It's a weird thing. The virus helps their business. A lot of people really going through addicts. And also, I hate to say it's kind of negative, but grandma and grandpa are dying too, and their stuff is then being passed on to people who need to sell it. So there's a couple different reasons why they're going up. Uh, SunOpta goes up through. That's a food company. They're at 491. There really isn't a lot of value here unless they drop down to like 4. Domino's up 3. Hudson was up 3%, but I say stay away from it. I need to refresh this. They're going to go away. Yeah, they're no longer an in company because I just refreshed. Uh, Marriott, Walmart, right? 2% Take-Two Software. That's I believe that's Grand Theft Auto game. Grand Theft Auto Infinity. I'm like, wait till they announce the new Grand Theft Auto game. They'll go way up. They're continuing to go up. Take-Two. Look at this. I said 125. I think I did a video on them. Let's see what happens. Take-Two. I just want to look at their last trend. Good God. That is a good 30-day trend. Ay, ay, ay. I never bought an option on them, and I'm regretting it. I said go down. Look at that. No stopping video games. That's what you learn. So Google up. Google's been crushing it. AT&T needs to go down. Wendy's. Anyway, super awesome ways to do this. If you are enjoying this and you're making money like I am, let me know and I'll start sending this out and do more comments and getting some more help. Because really, the only reason why I've been hesitant to send anything out and really talk is that look at how many companies I don't have notes for. Wait till you see it's going to be all blank for a lot of these. I don't have notes for a thousand companies, and I also don't have a complete list here. So, I mean, voila, from 728 all the way down to 1636. I mean, there's like 1,100 or 1,200 companies I know of that I haven't even reviewed it all yet. Need to do that to have an extensive list so that when we sort out this pivot by sectors and by companies and everything, we really know what we're talking about and we've got a good list. Because I don't want to be giving out advice. I wouldn't be want to giving out advice to people that I wouldn't take because it hasn't been extensively reviewed. And I'm getting to the point where I'm really confident in what I'm looking at and understanding how the market is functioning and why things are going up right now because of extra money coming in from the Federal Reserve that I think is going to continue to flow all the way up into the election. And that means that things like long call options on big companies and companies that are leading into the future and surviving the virus is it's a proposition that is very difficult for you to lose, and you're probably going to make multiples on your investment. So that is the under 5-minute, 18-minute video about the stock market for this week of July 10th, and may all your trades be winning.